حي على الفلاح.
He said to the ummah, his nation, he said, I do not fear upon you that you will worship other gods in the land of Islam. But Rasul says, it is the dunya that I fear upon you. He said, you start to compete for it so zealously, compulsively, as the ones before you fought for it and competed, it destroyed them. What's it destroying? Destroying your morals, destroying your shame, destroying your family makeup, your relationships, destroying your identity, destroying your self-esteem, your pride, who you are, your purpose in life, your goals in life, the meaning of life. Why are you here? So it's all a distraction upon distractions. And then the salat goes away, the fasting has no meaning, the charity has no meaning, empathy is gone. It's all about me, me, me. Aisha Dana said, Ya Rasulullah, would Allah destroy us while among us there are the righteous who mend what is broken and guide what is lost? He said, no. And then he said, only if immorality, indecency, wrong, oppression exceeds beyond bounds, and there's only a handful of those righteous people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may take them away and end the world. Because Allah doesn't let this world become corrupted fully. Yeah, and He leaves some choice to us, but He won't allow it to be inherited by the corrupt people everywhere. So this is a sign that alhamdulillah we still have a lot of good. However, right now we're going through a phase where discovering a problem, relationship breakup, divorces, parents and children, children running away, lots and lots of mental illnesses, depression, anxiety and so on. Yeah, of course, salat is becoming a thing of lazy. And when materialism becomes my motive and everything, my distraction, and you take that away, I don't have any more purpose. What am I looking forward to? I'm going to get depressed, going to affect my mentality. And if materialism becomes my goal, then obviously the things that I can't see right now, that I can't touch and feel, which is the hereafter, I'm not going to think about that. Yeah, now I can go to how many people we bury. There's no sensitivity towards it, nothing like that. You know what that is? When I develop a habit of immoral habit, at first I'm guilty. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us naturally with shame. When I get a thought, or someone puts a thought to my mind, when does it start? Probably at puberty. 12, 13 years old, at school, maybe year 8, year 9. Friends start talking, they see something, they give us ideas. I've never thought about it, right? But I start thinking about it. The thought starts. The fact that I had a thought, if I don't fight that thought away, it's going to turn into an idea. If I don't fight the idea away, it's going to turn into a plan. If I don't fight the plan away, it's going to turn into an action. If the action is not fought, then it becomes repeated until it becomes a habit. Once the habit is established, this is where the point of difficult to return, and that is when I do that immoral act and I don't feel any guilt whatsoever. Desensitized. I don't even need to talk religiously here. We can just talk psychology and science. You do reach a point of desensitization, and when you reach that point, it begins to affect your entire life. It affects your work, your school, your relationships, your health. I'll give you an example. Person reaches puberty, goes to school, sees some friends looking on social media. Ideas are everywhere, right? They give you an idea about, say, looking at haram things, pornography and stuff like that. Well, the shaitan now helps the situation. You've got a thought. Okay, well, some kids, some teenagers, they feel that they're left out if they don't take part. Others, they think, oh, I've always wanted to talk to a girl and see a girl, let's say from a boy's perspective. That's a thought. If I can't talk to a real one, maybe I can talk to a virtual one. If I can't talk and I'm awkward, maybe I can text. So now it's a thought. Now it turns into an idea. And some kids, it's their desires, it's their temptations. They want to release that energy somewhere. If you have a phone, you sit at night, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Instead of going to sleep, the phone's with you. You start scrolling. You can type anything on Google. The first time it's guilty. You feel, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. So you got away with it. And then what happens is it starts to develop into a habit. The location. is the bedroom. The time, 10 or 11 p.m. The devices, they're readily available for me. The privacy, yep, no one comes into my room. Day after day, night after night, what happens is that as soon as you get to that location, as soon as you get to that time, that thought, your body says, okay, it's a habit, let's do it again. And these people start staying up until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. They wake up to go to school, to work, their eyes look very bloodshot red, they're tired, and it starts affecting their work, their schooling. They can't get their grades up, they can't get their work, they get fired, they start having problems in their relationships. Then it becomes a serious problem, medical problem as well. So we're talking a lot about the problems, we're talking about what's actually happening, some of the places where it's coming from. We have to be aware of ourselves, aware of our environment, aware of how things start, aware of where we're getting it from. That's the first step. Second step, so you got to see the dangers of it. One kid said to his father, who used to smoke cigarettes, one day I looked up at him, he goes, I was 12 years old, and I hugged my dad and I started crying. I said, Dad, I want to grow up when you're still around. I don't want you to die. I want you to be there for me. And so he goes, I affected my dad in such a way that he got this fear that just made his whole body shiver. And this fear, he goes, I could see it in his eyes, and he threw the cigarettes away and never smoked again. Fear stopped him. He doesn't want to die and not be there for his son. Same with everything else. The fear of these habits, these bad habits, knowing what actually can happen to you if you continue down that road, can help people reverse addictions, can help people go back on track, can help people change their ways and replace their bad habits with good habits and get back on track, inshallah, and succeed in life and in the hereafter, inshallah.
So one thing that I've noticed that's worked for me in anything that I've done incorrect, because we all sin, and the best way for us to, everybody has a different pathway to fixing themselves, and one thing that I felt like worked best for me was to just completely remove myself from the harmful situation.
So you got to work towards it. Change your friends. Pick up a hobby or a sport or an activity where you meet people who are different to the people at school, so that you know that you do have a place. And you can have your friends and they're talking or doing something that's not right. Have the courage. It starts there. Be brave and make the decision to walk away. A lot of young people don't have that courage to move away from that situation. I remember another year 9 kid, he said to me, year 9 is a teenager. In Islam, you're an adult. The other day, one of them got a cigarette from his dad and he started blowing circles, and all my other friends thought it was cool. And then he offered us cigarettes. They all smoked. I didn't. What should I do, sir? What should I do? I said, you got to remove yourself from that environment. You can do that. Let them look at you funny. They're going down the wrong path. Use your brain. This is your time now to stand up for yourself and make yourself a man. Make yourself somebody. Well, start becoming a man, where one of the characteristics of a man is one who can control himself and discipline himself. He said, I'll try. Over the weekend, they called him. He couldn't resist. He went with them. He came back. And this time he said, sir, wallahi, you're right. I tried, but couldn't. I went then. The peer pressure was so much. He got the cigarettes again. And I just remembered, I got to fear Allah. He goes, and I refused. And now, subhanAllah, I found it easier to not go out with them. He goes, the fact that I said no, they didn't want to call me anymore. Yeah. So Allah helps him. He said, that's fine. Allah's going to bring you different types of friends. Allah's going to different types of communities around you. Remove yourself from the environment. Let's look at where is most of this immorality coming from these days. Where do you think it's coming from? If a person wants to be successful in this life and the next, and wants to reach their goals, and wants to feel healthy, proud, happier in life, and have good relationships, and be able to reach great heights, inshallah, then they have to make the decision. Where does everything start? It starts with you wanting it and you making the decision. Do you want to end up a loser, or do you want to end up a successful person in this world and the next? Do you want people to respect you? They might say, I don't care what people think. This is a fallacy. You do care what people think. And how people think about you has an effect on your entire life. When you get married, it's about how that perspective other thinks about you. When you want to join a sport, it's how your mates think about you. Because when people think about you in a certain way, opportunities open up, either in a good or the bad way. So don't give me this rubbish about, I don't care. Yes, you do need people to respect you for the things that you respect yourself for. You don't want to be a slave to anyone or anything. So the first thing is, our devices a lot of us can become enslaved to them, and they become our master. They are designed to enslave us. And once you get enslaved, it takes control of your entire life. So you've got to do something about that device. You've got to start somewhere. If a person's not addicted yet, hasn't got a habitual compulsive habits, it's easier. Once you're addicted, you're going to have to now cut down. So you've got to do something about those devices. What are the elements of a habit? Urge you so much to do a particular thing that you don't want to do, that you know is wrong. Number one, the location that you became accustomed to. That location has to change. The timing, the tools. So your device is the tool. These are three main things: location, the time, the tool. You're going to do something about these three. The tool is the thing you need. Take away the tool, your location and your time is also going to change. People fast in Ramadan, they get closer to Allah, they're in the masjid, they're praying, everyone's around them. Your friend says, Haram, bro, it's Ramadan. Don't show me that. Don't talk about that. Come on, sister. Come on, don't do that. It's Ramadan. Everybody reminds each other. Guess what? You find yourself stronger in resisting haram things. You do. What is it that's doing that? Right? So everyone says, because the shaitan is locked up. No, that just plays a little bit of a role, but that's not why. Your desires are still there. The shaitan's ideas are still there, and you still got the friends, and the device itself is a shaitan. There are also human shaitans. They're always on your device. They're worse than the actual jinn shaitan. They're not locked up, and they're worse than the actual jinn shaitan. So your device has got shaitans on it day in, day out. You have to lock them up because you don't want to lose the rewards of your fasting. You don't want to lose the hereafter. You know that breaking a fast is a major sin, right? So you made the decision that for 1 month you're not going to look at any of this stuff. And you do, you control it, mashallah. Some people have got a location like the shower. Every time they go to the shower, they take their phones with them.
Yeah.
And from there, you know what happens. In Ramadan, some of these people, they don't have a shower in the daytime so that they don't break their fast. You know what I'm saying? SubhanAllah, after a month, you find yourself coming out of Ramadan, and what? You find as a bit of a strength that you've developed. You're not remembering it as often. The location has now changed. That location now where you're now sleeping on time because you wake up for suhoor. Your habits have changed. So you don't really think about them. But in that first week after Ramadan is what makes the difference. They remember, they go, oh, I remember this. So then the first moment you grab that device again, that's it. Your brain just starts taking over again. Now you've gone back and relapsed to that habit. That's what Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. Whoever fasts 6 days of Shawwal after Ramadan, it's as if they fasted the entire year. Why? Because he knows that after Ramadan it's not enough. You're still going to have to, fasting is a big thing that does help you, inshallah. It changes your habits. So we all can do it, mashallah. I say to my brothers and sisters, get back, listen to talks that talk to you about the hereafter.